So, alright, so first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Shai, Bahashem, Makakodash. We say, Double, apostles, and elders, agreements, and our will, our teachers, our apostles, and the truth. And we say salutations, so the Akamus, pushing you with no truth and say, Dean and the out in the continuing season or season, we say, Shalom. And once again, going into our video here. And this basically touching upon this news that I bounced up today. Now, as you can see, it's 15 hours ago. This one say one day ago, this one say 14 hours ago. So basically in a period of a daytime. Now what I saw was a news where Uganda literally they make laws against anti it has certain things, certain words you can say with YouTube due to the fact that basically your page might get flagged, you get strike and so forth and so on, right? So certain words I might mention again. It's the same way like when I'm doing a video on the juice, on the job, I wouldn't mention certain words. It's the same thing with this. Certain words that if you go to mention it will basically be, your video might get strike, it might get removed. Even though there are other videos on it, but again, they choose to strike our videos and so forth. Again, because is the truth will be speaking. You understand? Just like many other places right now, where you're seeing some people getting hold for being jailed for having a Bible in their house. Some other people getting hold, again, and so on and so on. You understand? But nonetheless, going into this video here, let's say Uganda president signs anti-gay law that includes death penalty. No, let me play the video.
Life in prison, even the death penalty for being gay. In Uganda tonight, that's reality. After President Yoweri Museveni signed one of the world's most draconian anti-gay laws, triggering an international backlash, threats of punishment from the US, and fears of other African nations following Uganda into an LGBT crackdown.
This is not where I would like to be.
This Ugandan LGBT activist had to flee their country, now living in exile.
You are arresting us for literally doing nothing, for simply existing. But where are we supposed to go? How did we become refugees in our own countries?
The new law punishes gay sex with a life sentence. For the crime of promoting homosexuality, 20 years. It was watered down from an earlier version that criminalized merely identifying as LGBTQ. But this version imposes even harsher penalties for what it calls aggravated homosexuality, same-sex relations involving children, people with...
So you get to understand the gist now, as I say, watch your recording and so forth on the YouTube stuff, right? Now, nonetheless, as you can see, Uganda passed laws with basically banning the as I say, anti-LGBT, right? Now with that, as you can hear in the starting about the video, they basically say America, going against them. Now we would expect that. It's just Esau being in charge, and again the wicked bear rule. But this is what Uganda do here. They ain't do nothing wrong. As certain people say here, Uganda, congratulations, and so forth and so on, right? And now America want to jump in, as it is usually do, jump in other country stuff and try to put, basically what I think what they wanted to do is put sanctions. Now let me play this piece here quick. Yeah.
Just one more. The president said yesterday there will be a review on engagement with Uganda. How long do you expect that to take?
So look, I know the president, as you just stated, put out a statement about this, a pretty lengthy statement yesterday about what we saw from Uganda yesterday. The enactment of Uganda's Anti-Homosexuality Act is a tragic violation of human rights, of universal human rights, one that is worth...
You see what they're saying? A universal human rights. Yeah, human rights. But when America bombing and raiding people's homes, the places and so forth, that all of a sudden the human rights thing it don't stand for them. Now again, this is just what it is. The wicked in charge. The scripture say the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, and this is where you get. Again, as we see before, when the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, what would they do? They wouldn't do anything good. They would basically do things wicked. They would do wicked stuff, and that is what they do, and that is what they will agree with. So they don't want to go. They don't want to impose about what it is Uganda did, and basically want to do what they want to get them put certain sanctions on them from what I was saying and so forth, right? As you can hear the lady saying in the video that the president had a long statement and so forth, but he wouldn't speak against the crimes that they do, But nonetheless, let me go into the scripture here. This is Jude chapter 1, right? I'm going to go to, let me read verse 7. This is Jude chapter 1, verse 7. It says, even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh, are set forth for an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. And if you go and look up what Sodom and Gomorrah is today, you will basically see it undwellable. You understand? You still see the destruction even unto this day. Right? But it say, even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication. And we know what went on. You know what went on in Sodom and Gomorrah, right? But again, the wicked being wicked, they would do these wickedness, and they would encourage people to do it. You understand? Making these nations drink the wine. You understand? Had them following the philosophies and so forth. You know. So now with America stepping in, now they're going to have it look like, you know, human rights, and they're going against human rights, and it's this and that, a universal thing, and, you know, making it seem bad. But let's remember, again, when you go to the scriptures, and we deal, again, we for the Lord, we're not for this place. We for the Lord. So we will follow the things that the Lord say. You understand? And the Lord is against the things that America and these other countries imposing. What Uganda did is nothing wrong. But in this world, just because in this world, wickedness, wickedness exceed, it dominate. These stuff that would want to be considered right, it considered wrong. I'm gonna jump to our scripture here. This is Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20. It says, "Woe to them that call evil good and good evil." And that is basically the whole thing with this place. They call evil good. You know? And again, with the wicked in charge, this is what they do. They'll spin it. They're gonna make the evil sound perfect. You know? And that is what they do. So it says, "Woe to them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness." And that is all you see in this place. These people have the darkness. They have it looking like light. They have it looking like, they have it outright in the open. But the things that it's a on light for darkness. So again, they make the bad things look good and the good things look bad. And that's what they consistently do. Again, they in charge. Again, as scripture see, the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. And what people fail to realize is that when you wicked in charge, they could only do one thing, but do what? Wickedly. As the book of Micah say, because it is what? It is in the power of the hand. So they have the power to do these things. So what we feel America going to do? They once again, just jumping into stuff that they have no authority in jumping into. But hey, that is the pride that you saw. They want to put sanctions, they want to block up Uganda now from doing this and that. But America on a daily basis, they be committing crimes against humanity. You understand? The kind of crimes that they do around the world, when judgment comes, you get to understand. But all of a sudden, just because they're in charge, now they can spin it. So it says, "Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter." Right? Let me continue going on. It says, "Woe unto them that are mighty." It says, "Woe unto them that are mighty to drink wine, and men of strength to mingle strong drink, would justify the wicked for reward, and take away the righteousness of the righteous from him." So it says, "Would justify the wicked for reward," right? And take away the righteousness of the righteousness from him. It says, "Therefore, as the fire devoured the stubble, and the flame consumed the chaff, it says, so their root shall be as rottenness, and their blossom shall go up as dust, because they have cast away the law of the Lord of hosts and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel. And again, this is what it is. They despise the law of the Lord. Again, we know Esau being the Satan that they are, they would be against the Lord. And that's the thing, they will do everything that they do will be against the Lord. And then you have people that justifying the things that they do. So just like this LGBT thing, they agree with it. They push it on everybody because why? They are against the Lord. They're not, because if the Lord say, hey, don't do this, they would come to say, do this. And then again, the Jakes, the Israelites outside here that love this place and love doing them wickedness. So you see what? You see, because they have cast away the law of the Lord of hosts and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel. And see how important it is to have the law of the Lord. And when they go to the law is against the LGBT. Right? So that is why I say what Uganda did is nothing wrong. Because according to the law have harsher punishment for that. they still putting them in jail. The law was straight that one time back to the spirit world. You understand? You see, therefore is the anger of the Lord kindled against his people, and he has stretched forth his hand against them, and has smitten them, and the hills did tremble, and their carcass were torn in the midst of the streets. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. Now, I'm going to jump to the next scripture. Again, just doing this video here, if you hear any noise in the background, it's because some bad weather right now, but nonetheless, right, so going back to the Jude, as it says, Jude chapter 1 verse 7, it says, even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going forth after strange flesh. And that is what they did, and that is what they feel doing today. Yeah, remember, it's just that cycle, and they come back to do way worse. It say, and going after strange flesh, are set forth for an example. Set forth for an example. So Sodom and Gomorrah is an example unto us. Now, whereas years before this thing become, since everybody in the world said agree with the alphabetical people, right? Years before, people used to say, hey, remember Sodom and Gomorrah? Remember Sodom and Gomorrah? See, Sodom and Gomorrah was used as an example. It had people that never used to even be in the Bible, but they used to use Sodom and Gomorrah as a prime example to show that committing that act was wrong. You understand? So what the scripture say, and going after strange flesh are set forth for an example. So Sodom and Gomorrah, and it was an example unto us of what would happen if we do these things. So what you feel when it happened to the places that commit these acts, what you feel when it happened to the world. The judgment have to happen for doing these things, and way worse. The destruction that coming is way worse. But Sodom and Gomorrah is an example of us. People forget that. That's what the Lord said. They despise his words. They despise his words, because if they didn't despise, they would have known what it is took place, what was the judgment for doing that act. Right? It says suffering the vengeance of eternal fire, eternal fire. Right? So yes. So that is what it is. And again, when you watching this place here, it's a spiritual Sodom and Egypt. Because of the acts, the things that they be doing. You're seeing it. But just remember, I should say for example. So and what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah? There was what? That place was destroyed. So what you feel going to happen to this place? They're doing way worse. You feel it going to remain? It not. Just imagine you live in Uganda, the government passed a law, but all of a sudden America wants to impose. That is just to show you how the wicked in charge. I'm gonna jump to our next scripture here. This is I'm go to the book I'm go to the book of Peter. Book of 2 Peter chapter right, this is the book of second Peter chapter 2 go to verse 6. It says, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemn them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly. So Sodom and Gomorrah is, again, is an example. That is why, as I said, years now you just hardly hear people saying it because of the afraid to get. Some of them just say it quietly, but some of them don't say it because they don't want people to cancel them, to come down on them and so forth. But as it say here, it say, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemn them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly. So it's an example unto us. Remember what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah, what took place for they was living ungodly, and they see what happened unto them. Right? And as an example unto us, it was written and proven. You just go and look up videos proving Sodom and Gomorrah and the place. Right? So what they feel going to happen to this place? Because again, watch how ungodly this place is. Every single thing. Hey, they pass laws that a man could sleep with an animal. The alphabetical order and many other things. They ban in the Bible in certain places. Hey, this place is so ungodly. We feel going to take place. The scripture say this place is going to burn like an oven. And the wicked shall be what? The wicked shall be the stubble. It shall be the stubble for the fire. The wicked going to keep the stubble afloat. The wicked, the ungodly, and they're going to keep the stubble afloat. They're going to keep that fire burning. Right? I'm going to read some of this comments here before I close up. You see, as these people saying here, the rule here is not to interfere in other countries' resolution. And again, America just want to play the white knight. They want to play human rights and all this sort of things. That's a catchy people, and they committing way worse. As the lady say, humanity rights and so forth. Hey, and again, just remember Sodom and Gomorrah is an example is an example. You understand? So all these people and them want to greet America, you all know what's going to happen to all it. You understand? So hey, with that again, once again we give all praises, honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yoshai, Ba'ashem Kakodash. We sit down and apostles and elders are doing most and rule our teachers of apostles in the truth. And we say salutations, so they are coming to push. We know truth and say day and day out. Considering season and other season we say Shalom.